Hi everyone, my name's Michelle and I'm Mama Loves You GB here on FlossTube, but also over on Instagram and Etsy as well. Welcome to the Sunday morning briefing. I'm not even going to pretend that I've looked at what FlossTube number this is or even what the date is tomorrow because I'm really not sure. I've just got so much to show you. I've been kind of faffing around getting everything together for about the past 3 hours, so we're just going to have to see how this goes, because what started off as quite orderly has become a little more chaotic as the evening has gone on. So we'll see where we get to, but I've got stitching I forgot to show you last week, I've got freebies, I've got the treat box that I was going to share with you last week, I've got the winners of the competitions, all sorts of things. So this week, just a quick life update, which I can't even seem to say. We kind of snatched this week from the jaws of defeat, really. It started off with Ness and Chris both having a stomach bug. I didn't. Thankfully, my rhino teacher immune system kicked in and was like, nope, that's not happening. So I wasn't sick, but they both were. Not very much. They weren't sick for very long, but they both had really sore tummies afterwards. I managed to get up to the Nimble Thimble, which was amazing. Took a trip up to see Chris, and as always she was super welcoming, helped me out with something which I will show you, and I purchased a couple of things. And then we've just been kind of local the last couple of days. We took Albus to a dog show in the next village across, the village that Ness goes to school in. They had their festival weekend, or they had their festival week actually, and they had a dog show at 5 o'clock, and so Ness was so excited about taking Albus to this dog show. And on Thursday I kind of came into the living room and she'd got all her brushes and everything out, and she was kind of like primping him up, and at one point he had a headband on and all sorts. I mean, for those of you who don't know, Albus is a Dalmatian. He's a huge Dalmatian, but he is soft as anything, and he will just sit there and let her brush him and let her do whatever, you know, primping and preening she wants to do. So the day of the dog show came, we went to this dog show and we entered a few categories, and the first category we entered was handsome hounds. So they'd had a competition for the girl dogs, and this was handsome hounds, and so I took him into the ring with Ness with me, and we were stood there waiting for the judges to come along, and I sort of looked down at Albus and I said to Ness, Ness, is that dog wearing eyeshadow? Yeah. And if you looked very closely you could see just on the white fur above his eye he'd got a stripe of blue eyeshadow on each of his eyes. So I kind of quickly rubbed it off. I was like, Ness, he doesn't need eyeshadow for this. But he was quite happy. He got 3rd place in the over 7s category, and he got 3rd place in the talent, or the trick. So Albus's trick is that I played him his favourite song on my phone and he starts howling. He starts singing along. It's epic, because we got 3rd for that. So it was brilliant. Really, really good. But let's have a look at some stitching. Now, I knew last week that I'd missed something. When I said, oh, that's all I've stitched on, I knew there was something I'd missed. And I'd done quite a lot on this piece. Come this way. So this is stitched on 36 count. I think it's called Blueberry if I remember, and it's one of the Fox and Rabbit fabric of the months. So it may become part of their line in due course, but I did all of the black outlining on this, and I've stitched this in sulky. Now the name of the chart, let me have a look and see if I can find it. That's it. There we go. Is Happy Halloween number 2, and this is from Etsy, PDF download, as you can see by the state of it. It is by Owl Stitching House, and it does have the letters that spell out Happy Halloween intermingled amongst it, but I decided to leave those out because I think my fabric is busy enough that it could probably do without them. So as I said, all I've got to do now is put in the lighter bits and just fill in the bird there, and then that will be done in time for Halloween. I'm starting to get excited about Halloween now. I bought a few little bits and bobs from TK Maxx for Halloween, because I never do. I always want to, and then I think, oh, it's not time yet, and then I miss them. So I went and bought some bits and bobs, just a couple of glass pumpkins, some little pumpkin kind of figurine type things, just, you know, dust catchers, that sort of thing. And then the other thing that I've done quite a lot of work on this week is my Santa portraits. So I've done this one, which I'll show you again in a minute, and I've been working on this one down here with the meerschaum pipe. So you've got two that are kind of like side on, and then you've got two that are sort of full face, and I quite like the way that it's laid out, so I will probably put my Santas in that same format once all four of them are done. So this is the one that I'm working on now. It'll probably look almost finished, and I nearly have finished the stitching. I haven't done the back stitch yet because I do want to do another one of those little before and after videos that I put on Instagram, so I thought that was really cool. There are some little single stitches missing because you probably can't see, but he's got little snow flakes around him, and I think I might do beads. I think I might do beads for that. So there he is. I've got a bit more to do down in his coat, the cuff of his coat, and there's a little bit missing just at the bottom of the pipe there. But other than that, he's very nearly done, bar the back stitching. And if you've not been with me before, or you've not seen, I'm planning to put mine in this window pane frame that I got from Amazon. So that's what he will look like. And if I can, now these two won't be next to each other, as I said, I'll do the same layout, but just for, I can't see you, but hopefully you can see that. Just for sort of seeing what it would look like, that's them next to one another. And I'm really, really chuffed with the way these have turned out. So this guy's got back stitching and it's completely finished, and this guy is nearly done with just a little bit, a few more stitches in the back stitch to do, and the beads. And then I've only got two more to do, and hopefully I really want to get those done by Christmas so that I can have them, just throw them over there, have them up for Christmas. And then the other thing that I did this week was I started one of the things that I got from Chris at the Nimble Thimble. So I bought the kit for Welcome Autumn by the Drawn Thread. I've already, there we go, let's just put it so you can see. So that is Welcome Autumn by the Drawn Thread. And when you get it from Chris, she has them all kitted up with the fabric, the chart, and the dinky dies. Now, if you've ever looked at the price of dinky dies, which are silks, to buy an entire skein of dinky dies is quite expensive. And for these charts, which are stitched on 32 count 1/2, you don't need a massive amount. So the fact that she is able to kit them up with just what you need, and when I say just what you need, there's normally plenty from the ones that I've done, that is really, really good value. You're buying, in my opinion, you're buying the chart, the fabric, the floss for less than you would be paying if you were just buying the skeins of dinky dies themselves. So it is well worth it. Now, I haven't got very much done because I only started it in the car while I was waiting for Ness at swimming. She had a little intensive course of swimming this week. So I've just done the little pumpkin. Well, I haven't even done it. I've started the little pumpkin in the middle. This will be my third of these. I have done Welcome Spring, and it's framed with glass because this normally sits above my fireplace, and anybody with an open fire will know that it creates such a lot of dust that for that case I would have it with glass. And I've also done random welcome summer, and I purchased from her what I thought was welcome winter, but it wasn't. I actually managed to buy welcome Christmas, which is fine. I'll just do welcome Christmas and I'll get welcome winter as well, because I do like that one. Welcome winter's not massively different, but it is a little bit different. So yeah, I'll probably end up buying welcome winter as well. So that was part of my haul. Okie dokie. Right, that actually is all my stitching. So that was a decent amount. I'm glad that I'm nearly finished with that Santa, because they're just so lovely. They're just so lovely. I've got a couple of bits of Stitchy kindness to do, and then I'm going to do the competition winners, and then I'll do freebie, haul, what else I went to Chris's for, and then the treat box. I'm going to save the treat box to last. I'm not actually handling anything else. So I had a really lovely email from Teresa, who is Jersey Girl Stitches, and she said that she would like to send me some of her pins. Now, she's been making these most fantastic pins, and it's really taken off, and she's got her own website and everything. And she invited me to go onto her website and to choose some pins that I would like. And she sent me these pins and this lovely little card as well. And I'll show you the pins that I chose, because they are the most beautiful pins. And she makes these all, and she sends them. They come on a piece of ribbon with a little floss card made into a floss drop. Now, she said that she's thanking me for that after the great floss. You'd have thought that something that I started I'd be able to say, wouldn't you? The great floss drop trade. And so they come beautifully presented on a piece of ribbon. So I chose this set, which is a Christmas set, which hopefully it will focus. Beautiful reds and greens. Let's see if I can take, that's lovely. There we go. Look how stunning those pins are. So if you're making pin cushions or the top of a drum or anything that you might want to put some pretty fancy pins in, then she's your girl. So I picked out those. I also picked out these ones. I'm going to keep all my little cards together. So I've got these ones for obvious reasons, with the Halloween on the horizon. There we go. Now, I chose to have mine made on silver pins, but you can have them made on gold coloured pins as well if you want to. So there are those, which are fab. And then I couldn't not get this set. Now, unfortunately, this is no longer quite anatomically correct, because this Dalmatian doesn't have blue eyeshadow on. But let me try and get it out of the thing. There we go. Just turn him around so you can see. I think it's better showing it like that. So there's the little Dalmatian, and then another pin which has just got a paw print on it. So how fabulous are those? And she sent me 2 sets to give away. 2 sets to give away. So if you would like to enter for these, then you are more than welcome to. You have to be over 18 so that I can legally have your address. Don't say the word giveaway or freebie or any of that. I'm sure you know the jazz. Try and make sure I keep the card with it. So this is a beautiful set with red pins. So if you'd like to win these, if you could put the word red in your comment. These are called Little Red House. Sorry, I should have said that they've all got specific names, but if you go onto her site, you'll spot the ones, well, they're all gorgeous, but you'll spot the ones that I'll get that in a minute. Or you can enter for this set, you can enter for both sets if you want to. So this is called Glass Slipper. Oh, these might be better off just on their ribbon there. So they've got like a pale blue to them. So in your comment, if you can just put red or blue, or red and blue, then I will draw a winner for those next week. If you're interested, the names of the ones that I got were Pumpkin Carriage was my Halloween ones, Puppy Love were the Dalmatian ones, and I think the other ones, it's not, the bag's not labelled, I think it was called Christmas. I know she'd made me those ones specifically because she just had a big order for those ones. So it was one of the Christmas sets. So red or blue, and I will get those in the post to you. I've also got another big thank you to a lady called Angie, who contacted me when I showed my Little House Needleworks charts that I'd picked up, the Hometown Holiday ones, because despite the fact that Hometown Holiday have been out for ages, I'd suddenly become obsessed with them because I'd just suddenly seen them. And she said, I've got some of those, and I can't remember whether she said she'd stitch them or she wasn't going to stitch them. Would I like them? And totally bizarrely, she literally had all the ones that I hadn't ordered. So I think I'd ordered 6 or 7, and every one she said I've got and sent me, I hadn't got them. So it was very fortuitous for me. So she sent me the Mercantile, the one where you put your name on the bottom, the Firehouse, which has got a Dalmatian outside, Grandma's House, Clocks, the Watchmaker, Clockmaker, the Post Office, the Filling Station, and the Diner. So I was so grateful to receive those. So thank you so much, Angie, and I hope that you enjoy the PDFs that I sent you in return. Right, what else have I got? Let's do the giveaway winners from, I think it's 3 weeks ago now. Now I have already replied to their comments, and I think pretty much actually everybody has already got in touch with me, because as I said, I started preparing for this video about 3 hours ago. So I think most people have already got in touch with me, but I will just run through the winners. So Friends of the Heart was won by Jane Crumpler. I hope I got that wrong, Jane. Well done. Crow and Basket was won by Lorna. Nightshade Bird was won by Keely Evans. Dear Santa was won by Debbie Harrison. Quaker Diamonds was won by Sian Perrington. Did I say Perrington or Pennington? Now I've confused myself. Perrington, I think, isn't it? And then Strawberry Bird was won by Chris Hindle. So if you haven't already got in touch with me, then please do either just drop me an email or a DM me on Instagram and send me your address, and I will get those in the post to you henceforth pronto, if not sooner. So well done to everybody who won those, and thank you very much again to Lynn, who originally donated those patterns for me to give away. A little bit more giveaway news actually. Now I showed you this last week, and one of the things that I have been wanting to update you on for a while was the competition that I set up for this several months ago now, where I think they'd released 2 out of the 12 Year in the Woods, and I asked you to fill out a Google form if you wanted to have a go and guess what the remaining 10 were going to be. So we've still got 2 left that we don't know what they are. They've just released the second one in the autumn row, and it's going to be a bat, which I'm super excited about. So here is the what do you call that thing, spreadsheet. So here is the spreadsheet, and what I've done is I've gone through and I have given you green if you've got it right, and I've given a couple of people yellows because what they'd said was really close, and I wanted to do that just in case we end up with a tie and I end up doing like a count back. So you've all got this many, you've all got 7 perfectly right. Has anybody got one that's nearly right as well? So the people at the moment, Gretchen Caraway's got 5 right, Holly Welsh has got 5 right, and Sue Pellerin, oh come on Michelle, you can see 40 count, why can't you read that? I think it's Sue Pellerin, has also got 5 right. Katie Jones has got 4.5. She's got 4 absolutely right, and the one that was the ferret, she'd put Weaselstoke Martin. Now they're all mustelids, so I've given you a half for that one, Katie, so we'll see. That half could come into play. Only 2 people got the bat right, and only 1 person got the woodpecker right the week before, or the month before. So yes, wait to see what the remaining 2 are. Freebies. Let's do freebies now. I've picked out a Satsuma Street freebie because I've bought something from Satsuma Street this week. So it made me think, oh, I'll just go and have a check and see what freebies they've got. And this is a beautiful one actually, and you could make it into a lovely little pincushion. It is called Summer's Flight, and I will just hold it back here. And then I will obviously put down the web address in the drop-down box thing below for you to go and print that. It's such beautiful colours, and if you've ever coveted those Satsuma Street, they do like a 9-patch one, or maybe there's a 12 one as well, with lots of different birds and things like that on it, and thought maybe that's just a little bit too big. This is perfect. I really like to do this actually. The colours are really, really nice. And last week, like a fool, I forgot to bring up the freebie. I did put it in the drop-down box, but I'm going to show it to you properly. It's called Honey Jar by Pinker and Pumpkin Blogspot, and that's what it looks like. This is her 4th or 5th, maybe even 6th design that she's done in a jar, and so I think that's great. I think that's really lovely. So I will put the information for that one as well. Okay, on to what I was doing at the Nimble Thimble, other than drinking tea and eating biscuits, because I did that too. Chris is a great host. She really is a great host. I'd taken with me more to show her, but I thought she might be able to help me with it. Whoops. Oh, I'll just drop that. 2 seconds, because I need those. I'd taken with me Martha Faraday. And thank you to all those people who've commented to me. Particularly a lady from Norway commented, she said, Bergen's never been the capital of Norway. I don't know why she's written that. And I actually looked it up, and according to Wikipedia, I think it was for about 3 months in the 1200s or something like that, but certainly not in 1803. So I do need to do a lot of history and geography brush up to give you the full history on this. But the reason that I took it with me, A, was because I thought Chris might be interested, and B, because she keeps a good stock of dinky dyes for kitting up, and she buys the 50-yard hanks from Dinky Dyes to use for kitting up for the drawn thread. And I really wanted to do her in silk, partly because of some of the drawn thread kits that I've had from her before. I thought a blue there was a blue in there that I'd remembered that I thought would be perfect for this one. So these are what we came up with. So these are the colours that we chose. So I'll give you some info. Now actually the very first few alphabets, you probably won't be able to see because of the reflection, are a slightly different blue. So that's going to be the ghost gum. And the bulk of the alphabets are going to be Persian jade. Then we've got two greens. There's an inner border, and then most of the leaves and flowers are in a slightly paler green, which is called wallaby grass. Wallaby grass, so that one. And the up and down, the zigzag, is going to be seagrass. Then you've got the little flowers. Now the little flowers all have a little white cap. They've all got a little bit of red on them, and then some have got like a beige and some have got a more of a yellow. So in order to help us do those, we went for Cobar, Pearl and Whoop Whoop, and the red is Cherry Wood. So all of those beautiful, beautiful silks. So I can't wait to stitch the model for this, to get started on the model. I have started charting her, and she's really fun to chart, she's really fun. I'm going to stitch on 36 count, which does mean I'm going to need a fat half. Now, I'm conscious of the linen situation in the UK, in the fact that I can pick a linen and I can tell you what I've chosen, and you might struggle to get it, just because sometimes they're in stock, sometimes they're not in stock. And that's with a fat quarter. Getting a fat half is sometimes more tricky, particularly if it's going to be a dyed one. And actually I was searching around the various different websites looking to see if I could just get a plain Zweigart that I thought fitted the bill, and there wasn't a lot of fat halves of those around. So what I'm thinking about doing, and don't hold me to this, but what I'm thinking about doing is giving you a dye recipe, a really, really super simple dye recipe, just using plain white Zweigart, a set amount of water, a set amount of dye and a set amount of time, to give, so that you can have a go at getting close to this. So you can buy a fat half of white fabric, probably from Wool Warehouse, because they seem to always have a really, really good stock, I would recommend, and then you can have a go at dyeing it yourself. Because I just think that being able to get hold of a fat half, particularly in the UK, is sometimes a bit more tricky. Unless I come across a perfect, just plain Zweigart that I think people will be able to get hold of, I think I might do that. So plain white, one Rit dye, set amount of water, set amount of dye, and a set amount of time. So it should be easy. So that was fun. That was really fun to kit up. What else have I got to show you? Let's do a little bit of haul. I've got my Fox and Rabbit fabrics of the month. And as always, Karen and Brent have been super kind to me, and they have sent me both the neutral and the colour. So the first one is called Desert Taipan, and this is a lovely colour. I think I might do, I've picked up a chart to do my Halloween exchange with, and I think I might do it on this. So that is a really lovely colour. I really hope that becomes part of their range, because that's really nice. So there's that one, Desert Taipan. Am I saying that right? Yeah, I think so. And then this is the coloured one. This is called All Hallows. It's probably, that was nearly a combination of probably and possibly then, slightly more pinky than it's showing. It's kind of got a real, it's not even as orangey as it's showing. It is definitely a little bit more pinky than it's showing, but it's a really good Halloween one, and I think some of the Teresa Kogut ones that I picked out last week and I showed you would look really, really good on that. That's probably not far off actually, maybe slightly more pinky. And I got some charts. I picked up a couple of Expos because there are a couple of designers who have put Expo stuff available as PDFs already. So I couldn't resist these. I couldn't resist these. I've got several of these to stitch and I've only stitched 2, but I couldn't resist them. So they are the 2022 Satsuma Street. I said I bought something from Satsuma Street. Halloween ornaments. Now I have done 2 of these before, and in case you haven't seen them I will show you. So they're stitched on perforated paper. So that was one from one of the previous sets, and it says Eye of Newt on it. Now they do a set of 4, and they've pretty much been doing a set of 4 every year, and I think there's either 4 or 5 sets of 4 now, most of which I've got and I've stitched 2 of them, but they're amazing. And then I also stitched this one as well. Take that one off. I also stitched that one as well, which is great. Love it, love it, love it, love it. So let me show you the 2022 ones. So I switched when I was printing this out halfway from printing it out double-sided to going back to single-sided because the black was really messing with my printer. So that one's called Ice Cream, which is just brilliant. Love the bugle beads up here. Now you can pick these up as kits if you want to get all the stuff, or I just use DMC and whatever beads and sequins I've got, and then black 14 count perforated paper. This one, which is called Fungi, the mushroom skull. And the third one in this series is called Haunted Hearse. How fun is that? How fun is that? And then the last one is called Hoppy Halloween. He's amazing. Love him. I think I might do him. I'm really quite keen to do him. So I got those, which are Expo releases. And I also got another Expo release from Lindy Stitches. And I got this one because I love it. And I also think one of the previous Fox and Rabbit Fabric of the Months would work for it. And I seem to remember it was called Curry. Is it called Curry? Maybe. It says, bury me with my needle and some linen in my hand, for I would not be idle when I reach the promised land. I just love that. That's stitched in Dinky Dyes, but it has got DMC alternatives and a few DMCs as well. So I like that one. Sorry, I was just reading the back at the same time. And then the last thing I bought, I'm going to have to hold this right back because it is the chart. Now I'd seen this design around and I loved it, but I thought it was just a kit. And it wasn't until I saw a post by Sarah, who is at Cross Stitch SJW, and I'll put that across the bottom. And she's starting a sale with Yasmin's Made with Love on the September the 15th. And they are going to stitch Rockin' Robin by Love Poppet. And it's that one with the Robin who almost got like a Quaker or a snowflake medallion on his chest, and I really loved him. So you can get just the PDF download for that. So I bought that and I'm going to join them with that stitch along on the 15th. Is that everything? No, not quite. I picked this up in the week, and it is a Carnival Glass flower frog, and I've managed to put a few pairs of scissors. I've managed to wrestle some out from behind the sofa. Now it's got quite a few gaps, And I've still got my crystal flower frog there, and so I need a few more pairs of scissors, I think. But yeah, just look at the lustre on it, isn't it lovely? And the colour is just superb. Oops, there we go. Perfect condition, or it was. No, it still is. So yeah, I picked that. Oh, that caught me unawares, excuse me. It's not sponsored. Okay, so let's have a look at this treat box then. So, as I said, I get quite a lot of things, emails, people saying, oh, would you like us to send you this, that and the other? And I'm like, no, it's fine. I don't know what you sell. No. Sometimes some of the offers that I get, I just literally reply with, have you ever seen me? Because it's just not me. It's just not something that I would be interested in. But food, I'm interested in. Especially this idea. Because I'll tell you why it appealed to me. Because I love the Eurovision Song Contest. And I really like it when everyone has Eurovision parties and they have food from different countries. Really like it. So this is by a company called Try Treats. And you can sign up for a subscription box, and every month they will send you a subscription box from a different country with different treats in it. And there is a code for you to get 15% off your first subscription box, which I'll put along the bottom if you would like to. Now, you get an information card and almost like a postcard, which I thought would be quite nice for Ness actually. And another card with, this one's got a recipe on it, Polish recipe. And then you get a chance, you get a list of everything that's in the box, and you get a chance to sort of rate it. So it could be a real family thing, trying each of them and trying to work out which ones you like and which ones you didn't like. So I have already opened the box because I showed it on my Instagram, but it came, before I got to it, it came beautifully packaged. Oops. So I'll show you what's in there. I'm not going to try and pronounce them. So there's those. I can already testify that those are delicious. They're just like little fruity boiled sweets. So there's those. There's these, which look to me a bit like pretzel sticks. There are, now these, I'm going to try one of these. These are little fudges. So I'm going to leave one of those to take out, to try. Now Chris and Ness have been eyeing up this box all week and I told them they couldn't touch it. That looks like a wafer, or as they're commonly known in our house, a wafer. I don't know why. A little chocolatey affair, possibly. I'm going to leave that one out as well. Hazelnut break. Now that looks a bit like a Kinder Bueno, and I've already had one of them today. Don't tell Ness. A sesame snack with honey. Now I know I like those, I've had those or something very similar to those before. Now these are just intriguing. They just look like giant Wotsits. Or hair curlers. One of the two. Might give one of them a go. There's another one of those wafers. No, it's the same wafer. It's just... Now this. Legend Darnie Smack. Iced gingerbread. I'll get Chris to try that. I don't like gingerbread. I'll get Chris to try that. It looks like that kind of like thicker gingerbready stuff that you need a ton of custard with. But I bet he'll probably like it. And some more wafers. So now I'm just going to have a little look at this. Actually no, we better start off on the hair curlers. Let's see. They don't really smell anything. My taste, they have the texture of those kind of packing chips, but they don't really taste of anything. There's no like flavour. Apparently the ingredients are corn groats, but apologies if anybody's got any food, they don't like watching people eating or chewing, but with a dip or something I think they could be quite nice. This, look at this. Little like cameo. Ooh, that smells alcohol-y. Where's the card gone that told me what it is? Elegant and individually wrapped chocolates decorated with white chocolate, creamy with a rich chocolatey taste. It definitely smells like it's got alcohol in it. Yeah, that's nice. I'm gonna put that there. I could definitely eat more than one of them. And then this is milky creamy fudge, so I'm hoping that I don't lose a filling on this one. But I've enjoyed our time today. I hope you have as well. Don't forget to look on the drop down box if you need any more information for anything, and I will see you next week. Stay classy, Stitches. I think it's just fudge. It's nice, but it's not as good as my mum's butter tablet.